all for joining the fourth episode of Books and Beyond. Today we have a very special guest joining us. She is the author of one of my favorite books, which is called Honeybees and Frenemies. Thank you so much, Miss Kristi, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Neha.
No problem. It's really an honor to have you on my live session for for the fourth episode. But yeah, how are you today?
I am great. I have to say, you might notice the sun behind me. I am in Florida, so it's really nice. Not to rub it in anyone's face.
Yeah, we love visiting Florida as well. We love the weather there.
Yeah.
Any plans for the weekend?
Actually, we are going to try to just be outside as much as possible because I go back to home, which is outside of Chicago, next week. And I saw the temperature is 4 degrees there. So, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, to start off, can you please introduce yourself to all of the viewers and tell us more about yourself and about the books you've written?
Yeah, thank you. So, as you know, I'm Kristi Wientge, and I have written Honeybees and Frenemies that Neha mentioned. I've also written Khullar's Mustache, and I have a third book coming out that has no title right now, but I'm very excited about it. So I write for kids. I have 4 of my own children, and I currently live outside of the Chicago area.
Awesome. So I also learned from your website that you had spent 14 years raising your family in your husband's home country, which is Singapore. That is amazing. So do you think you'll be able to share your experience there? And how is the lifestyle in Singapore different from the U.S.?
Yes. My kids and I talk about this a lot because Singapore, it's a city. It's also tropical. So you kind of feel like you're in paradise, but you have the bustling city atmosphere. So we take the bus all the time. We hardly used a car. You can walk, take the train. So we definitely miss all of that, all the public transport. We miss the hot climate. But I mean, again, with that, you have the downside of it is a city, so it's busy, it's loud. So it's the pro and con. We miss it, but we also kind of like having the freedom to walk around in open areas and kind of have fresh air and
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, the food in Singapore is good too.
Yes, we love Indian food as well. I hope I'll be able to visit Singapore one day. But how about we get on to your book? So as you may know, I have reviewed your book, Honeybees and Frenemies, on my YouTube channel, and I just love reading it a lot. The title cover, as you can see right here, it's very beautiful. You can see there's a lot of bees, and you have the 2 main characters. And I actually found a lot of interesting facts by reading this book. Yeah, so I'm going to share a few of them if I can remember. One of them is that bees actually have a brain the size of a grass seed, but they can solve math problems faster than computers. That is crazy fast. Another one is that, or many of you guys may know that ants can carry 50 times their weight, but bees, they can carry 122 times their weight. That is incredible. Now, the fun fact is actually, there's this man named Long Liangming who holds the Guinness World Record for actually having 630,000 bees on his body for 53 minutes straight. And that's close to an hour. So, yeah, I definitely learned a lot of things about bees in this book. So that's another thing that I loved about it. You also definitely read this book as well. You will love it for sure. Now, how about we get on to your other book, which is Khullar's Mustache. I actually haven't read that book yet. So can you please share a little bit more about it?
Yeah, definitely. That was my first book. Khullar's Mustache is my first book. And it's definitely the book I say that it's my heart book. It was the book that when I was younger, I wanted to read. I was looking for and I could never find it. So Karma has a mustache. And the cover of the book shows like a big mustache. It's not that big. It's just some hairs, and she's got hairy arms and hairy legs. She's very self-conscious. Like one day you wake up and you're like, oh, I have hair, you know, like you get really self-conscious. So that was the book about me as a kid. I mean, it's not an autobiography by any means, but it's about a girl who's hairy, and she's got some friend problems, and she's got some family problems, and she doesn't know who to ask because it's kind of embarrassing to ask people, what do I do about hair on my face? And so it's just kind of a fun book to read, kind of accepting yourself for who you are, the good, the bad, the gross, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That sounds like such a fun book, and I'll definitely add that on my book list to read very soon. Now, like you all know now, Miss Kristi is the author of the middle grade book. So, what inspired you to start writing books for kids?
I have always written books for kids. My mom has a lot of the stuff she found. They moved out of my childhood house, and she found the boxes of books I would write. So I have always written books for kids.
Wow.
I even, when I was probably 9, I wrote a book for like 14-year-olds. I thought, you know, I could write for teenagers. It wasn't very good, let's just say that. Yeah. But definitely, I think there was just a day when I had 2 kids. I was pregnant with my third, and I was like, I've always wanted to do this. Why am I not doing this? And I was like, I have time right now. I'm going to try to do this. So I just started writing, and I don't know, I feel like I remember that time of my life so well, my middle grade years, that, and a lot of like things you wish you had done different. I wish I was more confident. I wish I was stronger. I wish I believed in myself more. So it inspires me to like write for kids who are feeling the way I used to feel. Actually, the way I still feel. You don't grow out of these feelings. So yeah.
That's amazing. It's very interesting to know that you have been writing books for kids since that young, which is incredible. And you know, like you all should know now, I mentioned it a lot in this session. I love the book Honeybees and Frenemies. So, are you working on any other books that are going to come out eventually? And do you think you could share the summary?
Okay, sure. Yeah. So my third book comes out next summer. These things take a long time, right? So I'm finished writing it, and I've done the first round of edits, which means the editor looked it over, made notes. I read her notes and made some changes, and like to make things better. You know, an editor doesn't actually say, change all this. They just say, this would be better if you add this or tie this together. You know, they give you help to make it better. So this book is, again, a girl main character, and her name is Alex. She's a tomboy, and her best friend is her next door neighbor, Will. They've always been best friends, but it's the first day of summer. They're at the swimming pool, and a really pretty girl in a bikini comes up and says hi to Will, and off goes Will, and there's Alex all left alone. And this was inspired by something that happened to me when I was about that age. My cousin and I were best friends. We were at the pool. We were about to play this game with the raft, and a girl came up and said hi to my cousin. He took the raft and he left, and I didn't see him again for summer. At least that's what it felt like to me, right? So this story is about, you know, friendships when people start kind of growing apart, and which is kind of what all my books are about. But yeah, this one is very hopefully funny, but also hopefully really like teaches you to accept other people, even when they're doing things you don't want them to do, you know?
Yeah, well, that sounds like such an interesting book. And you mentioned also about like, you know, the editors have to edit your book. But like, other than that, how long does it take you to actually, you know, when you first come up with the idea and then when you finish writing the book, how long does that take?
It's different with each book, I have to say, but I think a first draft, like not good, not really going to show anyone. I can write a first draft in about 3 months if I'm really putting my head down and forcing myself to write a little bit every day. About 3 months is a good time. Now, that 3 months, what it is like there are some good things and there are a lot of bad things. So usually I kind of go through it myself and try to rewrite. Then I will share it with a writing partner or a critique partner, and I will be like, read this chapter, and I'll keep making changes slowly and share it with someone, get their feedback, make some more changes, and then that whole thing can take as long as you want it to. Like Karma, I worked on that for about 5 years, off and on, not every day. It wasn't an everyday thing.
Yeah. Wow. And, how long did it take you to, for the editors to edit the book and then actually get it published out into the stores and online?
Yeah, that process takes about a year and a half. Yeah, because your editor has a lot of books to read, edit, and you do about 2 or 3 rounds of edits, and you're just one of 50 books or however many books they're doing. So a lot of time it's waiting. So like I sent in my edits for my 3rd book at the beginning of December, and I haven't heard back. So I work on some other things. I kind of like relax my brain a bit, try to do other things, read lots of books, because when I'm editing, I don't like to read anything. It's just too much. Yeah, so it's kind of like wait, work really hard, really fast. Wait, work really hard, really fast. Yeah.
Wow, it sounds like such a long process, though. Yeah. And, your Honeybees and Frenemies and your other book, Khullar's Mustache, they're both like totally different topics. So how do you come up with the main idea of your stories? Is it based on like, do you get inspired, or is it like a real life event that happens?
Yeah, it's kind of a mix. Definitely, like I said, Karma was the book I wanted to read as a kid. So it was a real life thing, a hairy girl. And I knew that was my seed. And it just kind of grew from there. Honeybees and Frenemies, again, I was in a honey festival when I was in 2nd or 3rd grade. So I had that experience. Then I heard something on the news one day. I was, driving, I dropped my kids off at school, and I was going to the coffee shop to write. And they were talking about these honey festivals and honey queens. And I was like, I remember that. And I just thought, oh, this will be funny. But you take something that happens in your life and then you just make it more interesting, more exciting.
Yeah, that sounds so cool. Can you share a little bit more about that honey festival? Like, what did you do then? What happened?
Yeah. So the town I lived in, they had a honey festival every year, an apple festival, a honey festival. I think there was even a sauerkraut festival. So every girl, when they get in 2nd grade, you join the honey festival. It's like you do it. Your parents don't even ask you. I think everyone just does it. And we do like, you had to go to a tea and wear a fancy dress, and then you got to go on this parade, sit on a car and wave at people. And so there was a part in the story where it rains during the parade, and that actually happened last year. We had to sit, and my grandpa had an old-fashioned car that my mom was like hand cranking the wipers. Like that all really happened. Yeah, it was really funny. Yeah,
that sounds like a lot of fun, though. I mean, also the way you described it in the book, I just really wish that I could have been part of the honey pageant. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. And also, what is your favorite genre to read? I know there's a lot of genres, but like, fiction, nonfiction, science fiction. For me personally, I would probably say fiction and also suspense and mystery books. I love Stuart Gibbs' books. He writes the best mystery ones. Yeah. What genre do you read the most or like the most?
I read everything, but I'm like you. I love things that are suspenseful. I do love the dystopian novels. I like to kind of freak myself out. I don't know why, but I do. I like to read things I'm not good at writing. So mystery and suspense, I like because I feel like, ooh, I don't think I can do that. So I love, yes, I'm the same. I love a good mystery, suspense, or dystopian book for sure. Yeah.
Wow. And any books you recommend for kids to read?
Oh, I just read, and I'm going to say the title wrong. I meant to look it up before this. It's either When You Trap a Tiger or How to Trap a Tiger by Khullar. That one, the cover, I'm not at home, I'm at my parents' house, or else I would like hold the book up. It's a beautiful cover. It has, it is mystery and suspenseful and a bit like magical realism. But
Mm.
it's a beautiful, beautiful book. I recommend that.
Mm.
Every time I see someone, I'm like, read this book, read this book.
Yeah, I should definitely read that because, like I said, I love the mystery books and the title itself sounds so
Mm-hmm.
interesting. And also something I'm really curious about is what would you have done if you weren't a writer? Like, is there any other profession or career that you're interested in?
Well, my degree from college is in special education, and I
Mhm.
did teach, and I still teach. I teach online now. I teach English online.
Okay.
Um, so I think I would definitely still be working with kids. I think I would
Yeah.
want to be a teacher still if I wasn't writing. And I know there
Hmm.
are writers who still teach while they write. I don't know how they do it. I don't think I could do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I would definitely still be a teacher. I love working with kids. They're
Right.
creative, inspire me every day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds very cool. Now, what's your favorite time of the day to read books or write books? I just love reading the last hour of the day in the bed, just relaxing with a book in my hand. So, is there any specific time of the day where you like reading books, or you have a topic in mind and you just want to write?
Yeah. I like to write in the morning. I
Yeah.
find that's when I'm most productive.
Hmm.
So I usually wake up about 4:30 and I teach until about 6 a.m. And when I'm
Oh.
done teaching, I like always have rewards in my head. I'm like, okay, after you teach, you can get a cup of coffee. And then after you finish your coffee, you have to write. So I try
Yeah.
to get some writing done. And then I give myself the reward. When you're done writing, you can go downstairs and have breakfast. And then, like, I kind of do that to myself. And
Yeah.
but reading, definitely, I probably can't really focus on reading until nighttime, like you.
Hmm.
First of all, I love to be comfortable and like in my pajamas and cozy. But my kids are still doing school at home. So during the
Hmm.
day, I don't really have a moment to sit down and read. So it's
Yeah.
usually at night I can just kind
Yeah.
of chill out and relax with a good book.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And actually, one of the viewers from the previous session, they actually asked this question to the guest speaker, which I was very interested in, and I want to ask you as well. It was, what is your favorite writing snack? And once I heard this, I thought maybe all the authors do have a favorite snack to munch on while they're writing. So, if so, what is yours, Miss Christie?
I find it hard to eat and write
Oh,
because I usually
mhm.
have a notebook, I have my computer, I have post-it notes. So I've
Right.
tried, sometimes I try to have some stuff, but I find it
Mhm.
distracting, too distracting. So coffee or tea is a must. And I'm
Yeah.
like constantly, okay? Like it's just like I just keep drinking coffee or tea. I think
Mhm.
it's because I want an excuse to like, oh, this is cold. I need to go downstairs and microwave it. It's like a distraction, right? Or I'm like, oh, I ran out. I have to make another cup. And then I can go downstairs and be distracted for a few minutes.
Yeah. Well, and last but not least, do you have any message for all the young kids who are listening to this session, or maybe just like a helpful tip for them to
Mhm.
become a successful author?
Okay, yeah. I know I probably everybody you interview says this, but read, read, and read. But I also think it's important. I thought I had to read everything and I had to finish it,
Mhm.
and I thought I had to like everything.
Yeah.
I think I didn't give myself permission to like, I don't like this. I don't want to read it. Like, and that's okay. You don't have to
Mhm.
love everything. Because I actually was doing a book signing at a school once and I
Oh.
asked the student like, oh, did you like my book or did you read it? And she was just like, no, my mom made me buy this because you're here. And I was
Oh
like, and the mom was like, so I was like, it's okay. I'm not offended. It's okay.
my
But I
God.
never gave myself permission to like, I don't like this book. So I think it's important to know like it's okay. You can like what you like and not like what you don't like. It's fine. But if
Yeah.
you want to be a writer, I would say you gotta write too. You have to read, you have to
Mhm.
write, and it's okay if it's not good. No one writes well their first time or second time or third time. And you need a lot of help. So it's okay when people, teachers or
Mhm.
friends tell you things that they think it could be better if you change this or it'd be better if you change that. It's good. Like listen to people's advice, but trust yourself. If you disagree, it's okay. You can trust yourself and write what you like and keep it the way you want.
Oh, that's so inspirational. I definitely agree with you. Like you said, read, read, read. That is something I'm definitely promoting on my YouTube channel and trying to inspire more kids to read. Another thing I just want to throw out there is you should never, you probably heard this multiple times from school and everywhere else, you should never judge a book by its cover. I really actually find that helpful because usually a lot of people, they just read or see the cover page and like, no, it doesn't look interesting. But when you actually read the summary of the book and the back or the inside, you get actually really interested. So you should definitely do that wherever you are, either in the library or any stores. I recommend doing that. But yes, thank you so much, Miss Kristi, for joining me today. I had a lot of fun talking with you and learning more about the books you have written. But how about we go over to the comment section, and guys, please feel free to put any questions of yours in the chat, either for Miss Kristi or for myself, and either of us will be happy to answer them. Okay, so this one is from Sarah Parker. It says, what keeps you motivated to write these amazing books? I want to be an author too when I grow up.
Wow, awesome. I love it. I love when kids want to be an author. What keeps me motivated is readers. Honestly, every time someone reaches out via email, or when I used to do school visits when schools were open and that, just having, I could be talking to 300 students and one student would say something to me and I'd be like, this is why I write, it's okay, it's just one person, that one person just keeps you going, keeps you writing. And I have to say, just the world, you watch the news, which I try not to do so much anymore, but you're like, wow, we really need hope. We really need good things out there. So it just keeps motivating me to keep putting positive things out there, good things out there.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, another one here from Sarah Parker. It says, you are so lucky, Nate, to be talking to these amazing authors. Thank you so much. And yes, I just feel so honored to be able to talk with all these amazing authors like Miss Kristi and so many other entrepreneurs as well.
Yeah.
Another one from John Miller is, how often do you visit Disney and Universal Studios in Orlando? I would go there every week if I was a local.
That's for you.
Right? Because you're in Florida.
Oh, yeah, I'm visiting Florida. So I have actually, oh no, I feel bad saying this. I've never been to Disney in Orlando or Universal.
Really?
Yeah. Oh. I went to the one in California a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, how is it there?
Sorry?
How is the one in California? I've been to the one in Florida though.
Yeah, the one in California was nice because it's smaller, so you feel like you don't feel so overwhelmed. Yeah, it was good.
Awesome. Another one from Sarah Parker is, I also love your coding videos. I learned so much from them. Thanks for the awesome job, Neha. Thank you so much, Sarah. It really means a lot when you guys give messages to me like that. That's something that really motivates me to continue on in what I'm doing. Let's see if you have any other questions here. Please feel free to put them in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer them.
Yeah.
Looks like a lot of people are saying that they love reading, or they're really interested in your books, and you should definitely read them, everyone. They're amazing. All right, so it looks like those are all the questions we have. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and thank you for Miss Kristi for taking your time off to join me for the 4th episode today.
Yeah, thank you for doing this, Neha. I love it. This is great. You have a great channel.
Thank you, and hope you'll be able to do this soon.
Definitely.
Thank you, everyone, for joining, and I'll see you later on Books and Beyond. Bye.
Bye.